Good afternoon, everyone. My report is about the program management process and program management resources. When we say program management, according to Gartner, program management is the coordinated planning, management, and execution of multiple related projects that are directed towards the same strategic, business, or organizational objective. Program management process isn't too dissimilar to how program or the project management works. Although programs are substantially longer, they have distinct preparation, execution, and completion phase. Program management life cycle goes through 5 distinct stages. We have, first is the initiation. In this initiation stage, senior stakeholders and sponsors identify opportunities for change. Once identified, the stakeholders decided whether the opportunity requires mandating a new program or project. In most cases, the opportunity must be substantial enough to warrant a separate program. Example of initiation: before you can execute or even plan a program or a project, you have to give your organization a return on its investment by creating a business case and a feasibility study. Business case and feasibility study is very important. Number 2 stage, we have definition. When we say definition, post-initiation or initiation, the program is defined and documented. This is where the stakeholders make a business case for the program and document everything required to make it success. At the end of this stage, you will have a program definition document, or the PDD. This will guide the rest of the program from the start to completion. Example of a project definition has been approved. It's time to create the schedule and tasks, then secure the necessary resources for your project. You'll also disseminate project communications and reports. Next stage, we have execution or the establishment stage. If the program is defined, it's time to identify and implement all the resources, infrastructure, and process required to achieve the program goals. At the end of this program, all the people in the program management team are identified and handed their responsibilities. So example of execution: once the roadmap has been created, it's time to start, but it doesn't mean you'll be simply cruising through this phase. You're assigning tasks to the team members and dealing with the paperwork. Next stage is the management stage. This stage is the longest stage, covering the actual execution of the program and all its constituent projects. Example of management stage: there will be an issue that arises over the course of the project. So it is crucial that you are going to monitor the project progress and controlling those changes. Next is the last stage, closure. When we say closure, once the program's deliverables are completed and the business benefits realized, that the program is said to be completed and it is terminated, the program team disbands and moves on the other programs. So we have closure example. The project isn't over. Once the deliverables have been delivered, there's still outstanding contract and other paperwork that need signing, distributing, and achieving for use when planning future program or projects. So there are 5 stages. So there are 5 stages to be followed when we are going to have program management process. We have first the initiation. When we say initiation, we are going to spot opportunities, set mandate, establish business case. Next stage is the definition stage. We have defined the program, document requirements, and deliverables. Create a program definition, document that. Next stage, we have establishment. Identify resources, establish, set up infrastructure, establish milestone and goals. Next stage, or the fourth stage, is to manage. When we say manage your project and resources. Communicate across team and stakeholders. Monitor progress of your program. Audit deliverables. Last stage is the closure. When we say closure, you are going to review your program, perform analysis, quality assessment. So those are the 5 stages of the program management process. Next is our program management resources. Resource management is the efficient and effective development of organizations' resources when they are needed. Such resources may include financial resources, inventory, human skills, production resources, or IT. Nowadays, there are lots of educational technology resources emerging as we can avoid technology as part of our everyday routines and because it is very useful in our lives as well as in the education. Educational resources are the resources which are freely accessible. When we say freely, it's free to use. Open license, text, media, books, videos, and other digital assets, which is used for acquiring knowledge, teaching, sharing your knowledge, learning, as well as for research purposes. So that is educational resources. They are common among us as teachers. Concept and natural or nature of education resources. Education resources refers to all human material, maybe non-material, audiovisual, school, environment, and community materials available in an academic environment to facilitate school administration and simplify the teaching learning process of our school. Next, we have education resources include also the teachers in the school, human beings in the community, real object, specimen, or model. Example is the chalk, display boards, school buildings, and layout. The community at large and other fundamental materials like pencils, pens, exercise books, and etc., which the learner are expected to have any of the point in the time to facilitate the learning process or the learning resources of each learner. In educational system, the physical resources would include the classroom, lecture room, staff office, vehicles, health centers, or our school clinic, the library, laboratory, and so many others are functional. Human resources constitutes a vital vein of any institutions. Human resources in the school system includes teacher, support staff in the school, students, parents, community members, and a host of other interests and social groups. That is an example of human resources. Human resources is responsible for planning, organizing, and maintaining other form of resources. Its administrative and forecasting ability place it ahead of other forms of resources. Fundamental resources may appear trivial, but their non-availability level education administrators and planners should mount a special campaign, presumably through special affair of the use of the press to create awareness of the importance of the need for the proper utilization and maintenance of school resources. Next, we have humans are constantly seeking answers, making plans, and pursuing goals that bring desired results. Each day present now challenges new questions about how life should be and be. The greatest future new challenge for the field will be the continued integration of management with the other theories to address social relevant as life becomes more conflict and diverse. That is our all about the human or the program management resources. And now, thank you. Good afternoon once again.